webinar, we're going to explore the ways that you can leverage 365, Microsoft 365 Copilot can help your organization with managing both your staff and volunteers. And you're going to leave here today not only with great knowledge and some super examples, but some actual prompts that you'll be able to use in your organization moving forward. So in terms of a brief introduction, again, my name is Frank Valdivieso. I'm actually the president and CEO of Griffin Consulting. And joining me today is Jason Price. Jason's got a ton of experience in this field. Jason's superpower is that he himself has also supported nonprofits for over 10 years. And another interesting fact that I learned about Jason is that he has trained over 1 million users on how to use and optimize cloud apps. So you guys are in great hands today for this presentation. A little bit about Griffin Consulting. We're an IT services firm, Microsoft partner. And again, we focus specifically on nonprofits. And again, what we help organizations with is not only navigating the Microsoft tech stack, but also implementing the technologies in your organizations and providing outsourced IT support as well. And we want to become your trusted advisor, if you will, as you look to scale and grow your organization. Here's just a snapshot of some of the nonprofits that we support. We primarily support organizations that are startup organizations. We've got organizations that are one-person nonprofit that are just getting started to larger nonprofits. And again, where we our cutoff is around 200, 250 employees, if you will, is kind of our cutoff. So some notes from the field. Again, I want to reiterate some things. If it's not already on your radar, I just want to point these things out to you guys again. You should have every one of you should have already received your notices from Microsoft that the tech grant for Business Premium and your Office E1 are going to be discontinued. If they haven't already, those things will be discontinued on your next renewal after July 1st. So if you need any assistance with that, please reach out to us. You can actually send us an email, as you can see there, to our email address that's posted there on the screen. That's NP support, nonprofit support at griffinconsulting.com. The other thing is Windows support ended last month. So again, if you haven't addressed that within your organizations, you got a couple of alternatives. Obviously, you can always upgrade PCs, and we are a reseller of both Lenovo and Surface devices. You can also purchase extended support, and I'll put a link here in the chat for you on how you can access that in terms of getting additional support for Windows 10 as well. I'll plot that in the chat here right now. Let's see. And then obviously, you can use your Azure grants to set up a virtual desktop environment as well. That's another way of mitigating some of this in your organization. All right. And last but not least, I just want to let you guys know, as a nonprofit, you are eligible to receive a 15% discount on the pricing for Copilot licenses. And I've posted there the different costs based on your commitment, whether you do a 1-year commit and you pay monthly, or if you pay for the license upfront annually. And obviously, any questions, you can send those to us at copilot@griffin-consulting.com. And last but not least, all of you here as a webinar attendee, you're eligible for a Copilot, a security assessment that we will provide for your organization, where we'll do an assessment of your organization in terms of Copilot readiness. We'll provide you a report and help you plan your implementation if you haven't already done that. And any organization that participates in that and takes advantage of that offer will also receive a 6-month subscription to a Teams-based learning management system, which I'm going to post a couple links in the chat as well, some representative samples of the type of content that's included in that offer. All right, so without further delay, I'd like to turn it over to Jason and let him take over from here. It's all yours, Jason.
Let's do it. Thank you, Frank. Nice to meet all of you, including the 4 bots that are in here, note-taking. I can see them here in chat. There's 4 of them. There's 2 of us, Frank. We're outnumbered. But this is typical. So Copilot and other AI tools are becoming more ubiquitous and people are finding different applications for them. We are going to be working on how you in your organizations can put Copilot to work for you. And I'm not going to just sit here and lecture. No, no, no. I want you to start using, I'm going to be putting some prompts here into chat. I'm going to be throwing polls at you. I invite your questions. I invite your comments. You know, if you don't like the color of my shirt, any of that stuff, bring it on. Here's what we're going to do first. We're going to do a quick comparison between some of the models that are out there. We'll look at ChatGPT, which is one of those free models. So if you have it available, go ahead and open up ChatGPT, chatgpt.com. Let me put that link in here along with a prompt I'd like you to put into chatgpt.com. This one is a human resource manager drafting a job description for a fundraising manager. We're going to be building out our development efforts. The description's got to cover all of these different sections. It should be very professional. It should be mission driven so that we find the right candidates to help us fund our mission going forward. So here it gives a very, as you can see, generic description. Fundraising manager reports to the director. Location, insert. I mean, it doesn't know what location you want. About us, it doesn't know your organization name. Passionate strategic fundraising manager. Here's some key responsibilities that might be in here. Here's preferred qualifications, 3 to 5 years of experience, CRM, etc. And some of the tools. Insert system name. Insert email marketing, insert project management, insert. It doesn't know. It doesn't know much about us. It's doing its best job as it can. Salary range up to 85 grand, benefits. If you want me to tailor this, I can adjust it. Not too shabby, but it really doesn't understand much about us. Now, let's try the exact same prompt. Go ahead and open up Microsoft365.com, or you can do this. Let me grab this short little URL and throw that into chat. And we're going to try this prompt one more time using what you have access to. If you just have a Microsoft 365 account, then you have access to that same model. OpenAI builds ChatGPT. Guess who's been the major investor in OpenAI for the last 7 years? That's right, Microsoft. In fact, you might see a little button here in the upper right-hand corner that says, try GPT-5. Click it. What does that do? That turns on GPT-5, which is the most current model that ChatGPT has. You're using Copilot ChatGPT. Learn more. Go ahead, paste this prompt in here, and let's see what we get from it. Same thing, human resource manager, job description, fundraising manager. Location, still doesn't quite know. About us, your organization name. Still kind of generally. Insert mission statement. Role and responsibilities. Bullets those out. Preferred qualifications. Available tools. Salary range. Benefits. So you can see it's done the equivalent as it should, slightly different. Every time you put in a prompt, send it off to any AI machine, it's going to be a little bit different. Let's now see what is the major benefit of this work tab, which gets enabled when you buy the premium license. Now let's paste this prompt in here and we send this off. Now, what's the difference? Now, instead of just going out to the Bing search index or pulling from web sources, now it's going to reach into my account and pull out information that it knows about me. It's still not finding my mission statement. I'm going to tell it to do that. Role and responsibilities, preferred qualifications, and it's still not pulling up my tools. So I can say, let's see, customize this. Add in our mission statement. Mission, I can spell. And where does it get that? And our available tools. Where can it pull that from? There's this little plus sign that allows us to add work content. And now I can go, let's see, here's our mission statement. Good. And oh, here, let's see, let's find our tool set. There we go, tool inventory. Now it can customize this to our exact needs. Oh, yeah, Griffin. Now it's got us. Well, it's about Griffin Consulting, but let's pretend it's about you. Well, here's our mission in bold. It inserts that. Here's what we're committed to. Now, what is your role and responsibility, preferred qualifications? And here's all of our tools. Microsoft 365, Copilot, Dynamics, Viva, Clip Training, all this stuff. And oh, it looks like even a bump on our salary. So you see what it's doing? It's using that information inside of the account. My documents, my emails, my chat messages, anything that goes between me and Frank. It can pull from that and use that as leverage. SharePoint sites, meetings on the calendar, meetings inside of Teams like this. That's what become available when we start using the premium subscription. I invite your comments on how these may differ, how they compare and contrast. So that is really the point of Copilot, is making this all available. And of course, it's all wrapped with security every time. It has to start with that, backed by data protection. How do we know this? Look here. Let's go to ChatGPT. What happens if you upload a document into here? What happens with it? I don't really know. Terms and policies. I guess I could read through that whole thing, but I'll give you a hint. It becomes part of ChatGPT. They incorporate it. They train their model on the data that you put up into there. If you upload your mission statement, your tool landscape, and then it can be returned to other people in their prompts to ChatGPT. It is not private. It is not secure. It is not protected. Whereas if we look at Microsoft 365, and I'm going to expand this out here, look in the upper right-hand corner. See this green shield? Enterprise data protection applies to this chat. Click that. And there's a whole page that describes how Microsoft protects your data inside of your tenant. The prompt that goes out to Copilot, the response that it sends back, the process that it's done does not leave your tenant. It remains inside of your boundary. It's not provided to the public. And none of that is used to train the model. That is what Microsoft promises to you. It's all wrapped with all of Microsoft's Defender and security tools. It's all wrapped with data classification, purview, and compliance tools. It is private to you only. Your boss can't see that prompt you sent in. I can't see it. Frank can't see it. Only you and Copilot know what's going on. And then you have Microsoft's responsible AI principles all bounded inside here. All that's required to keep results fair and unbiased, inclusive, transparent, accountable, reliable, and safe. That is Microsoft's promise for you using Copilot. So now that we've seen these kind of things in action, I want to ask you a question. I would like to know where you happen to be in your journey with Copilot. I'm putting a quick little poll up into the meeting here, and you can check off where you happen to be and submit your result. And you'll see where everybody else kind of stacks up. Lots of people are in that testing or piloting phase. Some are exploring options. I like the fact that only a few of you haven't considered it yet, and some are actively implementing. That's great. That's what we would want to see, is that you're now thinking about it. You're researching. You want to see if Copilot's a fit. You know what? Let's see how specifically Copilot can apply to some of these workflows that we talked about. Great results. Cool. Thank you. Let's now dig in. And again, I encourage you to try following along. In a lot of cases, Microsoft has made Copilot Chat available inside some of the Office apps. So some of these things, some of these activities, you'll be able to do with me as we support the full life cycle of all our volunteers and staff through the beginning to the end, A to Z, all the way from recruiting with communication and engagement into our onboarding, getting set up, into our tool landscape, personalizing their onboarding plans and materials, and then helping them along their career path, their journey in learning and developing and enhancing their performance as one cohesive team. And you know what? Building succession. So we don't have to go through this exercise with a fundraising manager again. We'll be able to hire from within, train people up from the inside, build the core. That's what we're going to do next. So here's our next step. We're going to go and grab a prompt. Once again, I'm going to feed it to you inside of meeting chat. This is what we're going to use. Hey, we have already drafted our role description, did a pretty good job there, made it relevant to our organization. Now we need an application form. Where can we go do this? I suppose we could try building something in, I don't know, SurveyMonkey, something like that. You know what? We've got Microsoft Forms available to us in our environment. So go to here in Copilot and look down on the navigation bar on the left, and you'll see the Apps tab. Click that. Here's all the primary ones: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, SharePoint. Click the All Apps link and go over to Forms. And as you open Forms, you might be greeted with like a welcome message. You've never been here before, but let's try opening a brand new form. Choose a new form. What appears here when you have this Copilot license, it starts to show up in a lot of the SharePoint web-based applications like Forms. And what do we see? Draft with Copilot. Here we can paste that very prompt into Forms. And what does it do? It builds this application form to evaluate the fundraising capabilities. Describe a successful fundraising effort you led. Give us some details. What strategies did you use? Explain the approaches and tools. What were the measurable outcomes of your fundraising efforts, right? Performance matters. What type of fundraising campaigns have you managed or participated in? Describe your experience. Describe your approach. Explain your impact. Share your experience. And rate your overall fundraising expertise. I'm sure they're going to be up in the fives, but hey, let's ask them. Supporting documents. I think somebody correctly pointed out they have to be in your tenant to be able to upload a supporting document. But you see, this gets us a long ways towards it. And as we kind of review through this to see what the form has done relative to our ask about these questions, about different campaign types and the like, notice up above, Copilot scans through the form that it built for us and says, you know what? I got 3 more suggestions for how you can do this. View details. Click that, and you'll see the suggestions you got that it provides. Recommend enabling receipt and edit options for candidates so they can ensure accurate submissions. Yeah, so click View Details, and it will say, here's the suggestions. Send a receipt, let respondent save. Good, you can click apply, and now checkbox, boom, that's done. Suggest a professional nonprofit themed background. Yeah, it'll give us, instead of this green, what it's got here, click and we can see different options. Here's one with a subway, music. Wow. Yo, lots of stuff going on here. Plenty of options. Take your pick and click keep it. You can always come back here later too. And then boost your response. Generate a plan to kind of maximize outreach, and it'll do that. That's best for like internal mechanisms. I will say send emails and Yeah, I'll say no on that one. Finish reviewing. Ready to go. Now we can preview it. We can see what it looks like. We can start collecting responses for it, expose it out, shorten the URL, grab the QR code, and the like. We've got security settings that don't allow us to do that outside here at Griffin, but that's because we're backing you up on security. Wow. Okay. So let's see, what else do we need to do? Create a targeted outreach campaign. Since we couldn't really use Copilot's suggestion there on the form, how about let's grab another prompt. Let's paste that inside of meeting chat so you have it. And I'm going to go over here. Let's open Word for this. Let's go back to our apps, Word. Probably have it already on your desktop, in which case it's already built in on the right. I'm going to create a blank document. And as we do this, in the non-premium license, we get a panel over on the right-hand side. By the way, another security setting, sensitivity labels. We'll keep this internal. That's a whole discussion unto itself. And now Copilot wants to kind of help us draft out. What do we want Copilot to draft? That very prompt. And this time, this is specific for this fundraising manager position. Let's reference the job description we created. Add content. You know what I didn't do was save that. Let's go back. Go back to chat and we'll see conversations, chat history. Here's our fundraising manager draft that we did. Yes, this is the one. And you'll see a couple buttons. You can copy this. You can tell it, hey, great job, or no, I didn't like it. And then there are 3 dots, schedule, share response. There's one here to add to a recent page. We'll copy this out. Let's come over to Word. I want to reference this. So let me get rid of this. Here we go. Come on. Get rid of this. Paste this in here. And now we've got our fundraising manager job description. Good. And we'll save this as such. Document fundraising manager. Cool. Now we'll go File, New, blank document. I'm running all over the place. Hope I haven't lost you. Now we can use this prompt. Another sensitivity label, internal. Okay. Now we can use this prompt. Click that draft with Copilot button. Paste that in. And now we can click this add content button. Look for the items we have. I don't see it. It hasn't indexed it yet, but I'm going to fundraising manager. That's not the one. Let's attach cloud files. Let's find it here inside my OneDrive. Fundraising manager. There it is. A few seconds ago. Attach that. Now it'll create this campaign. So the campaign will now use that job description, come up with some suggested channels to build this out. There's the qualifications, engagement timeline, and strategy. You can see it's building out this kind of plan, a timeline, a strategy. These are all components that you see bulleted inside this prompt. Outreach channels, messaging highlighting our organization's impact and values, focus on diversity and alignment, urgency, call to action. Shall we see what it generated? Here's the introduction. Copilot's so funny. It's like it's back in high school. It's like, here's an introduction to what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm telling you, and here's what I told you, the conclusion. It does it all the time. Compelling job description. Here we go. About us. Key responsibilities. Qualification. Okay, so got that from the job description. Nonprofit job boards, idealist.org, Work for Good, nonprofitsjobs.org, LinkedIn, community networks. Oh, yes, this one. They have an ethics code. We should reference that too. Employee and volunteer referrals, social media, obviously, impact and values messaging. Highlight our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And looks like a 3-week campaign, days 1, 2, 3, 4 through 7, 8 through 12. Exactly what to do when. Focus on diversity and nonprofit values. Urgency, call to action. Early submission, highly encouraged. Go now. Great. Conclusion. So this gets it. This works us through the process. Yes, I can see. You use MS at work. I'd like to start using Copilot for this. It's a bit overwhelming. There's so much to this. How do you fit everything about Copilot into an hour? Let's keep going. Streamline interview scheduling and candidate communications. Guess what? I've got a prompt for that too. Paste that in. And let's come back here to Word. Let's do another document. File tab, new. Let's start again. Create a brand new Word document. Use these items where I want Copilot to create. And we want to follow our plan. So add content, fundraising manager, recruitment campaign plan, modified just now. So it's using all of that. We're building, referencing our real world documentation. And so now Copilot will give us some application status updates, personalized messages for rejection letters, offer letters, general follow-ups, thank you notes, reminders, and it'll kind of use this context of professional yet empathetic language. And it builds it out. 4 pages, almost 800 words. Let's keep this. Email templates. Introduction again. And here's one for application received, subject, and the actual letter. Looks like it's smushing those together. Application under review. Obviously, it needs some editing. But that's why the human always needs to be part of this process. It proposes to you, and you edit, you critique, you clean. Shortlisted for interview. And a respectful rejection letter template. Offer letter template. Here's the role details, start date, salary, next steps, and general follow-ups. Thank you after interview, reminder for next steps or additional materials if we're still waiting on something, and a conclusion. And you'll notice these little footnotes are linked, take us back to source documents either inside our tenant or out there on the web, wherever it's citing those references. Nice. So we've now gotten through our recruitment. Now we get to the space. We found the right candidate. They accepted our offer letter, and now we're going to onboard them. So this work we're going to actually do inside of Copilot chat. Again, I'll drop this prompt here into chat for you, and let's return to Copilot chat. Click the chat tab, enter your prompt. And one thing I'm going to add in here, if you have an employee handbook, it's easy to add content, add work content, and let's look for our employee handbook. There it is. And send that prompt. So now it's going to reference that employee handbook, create the onboarding checklist, Organize these tasks in these different buckets, and create a welcome packet with a personalized welcome letter, mission and values review, key contacts, FAQs. And what does it do? New employee onboarding checklist. Here's what we need to do to get started. Here's what we'll need on the first day. Here's what it wants during the first week, the first month. Completing required training. We're going to come back to that one. Ongoing tasks. And now the welcome packet. Here's your letter. Probably need to expand on that one. Mission and values overview. Need to go deeper on that too. Key contacts. FAQs. Can expand on all of these. Easiest way, let's get it into Word, and then we can expand it out. So we can either copy the response, or we can just copy it from this button here. Look at all these different sources. This source button always opens up and shows you what it has used. So now we can go to, great, build that out. There's our welcome packet. Obviously, we need to augment that. We get to this point where we want to kind of automate resource sharing between the team. So what we will do is this chat inside of, or this prompt inside of chat. Let's come back and utilize it. Click in the upper right corner. Let's start a new chat. Click that new chat button. Put it in. We're going to draft a welcome message in Teams for our new hires with links to these sources. And ensure that it's ready to go into our new employee onboarding channel. Copy and paste it in there and provide it out so that that person, hey, we're excited to have you. Employee handbook, here's your link. And your onboarding checklist, your benefits information, your organizational chart. Bookmark to these access. Do you want me to add an introductory paragraph? This is Copilot, like the other AI tools. When it sees what you've asked for and delivers to that, it's anticipating what you might need next. So it makes these additional suggestions here in text form, and it gives you additional suggested prompts down below. Great. Now we want to personalize the onboarding journey, the plan that they're going to have on that first day. Let's start a new chat. That's why there's so many chats all over the place, but that conversation history will help us get to where we want, and we can search for other chats using Copilot too. Now we're going to draft this onboarding plan. Let me paste this into meeting chat for you. The plan should include a tailored onboarding schedule for the first 90 days, recommended training modules, a list of key officers and community stakeholders to meet with, and give it to us as a structured document with sections for timeline, training, stakeholder engagement. Now, obviously, you can write these prompts. There's a general process to that and some recommended guidelines to make sure you define the goal and the context, the why you need this, and the expectation of what outputs you want from it. But if you provide that in a prompt, you can get the more specific you are with your prompt, the more specific the results that come from it. First 90 days, here we go, onboarding plan. Meet with the HR and leadership team. Set up the access to the tools. Week 2 and 3, shadow development team, orientation webinars. Week 4, check in with your supervisor, align on KPIs and expectations, and draft a preliminary fundraising strategy outline for feedback. Okay, so now their feet are wet. We're asking for them to give us some stuff back that we can incorporate the ideas they're bringing to the table into our strategy. Phase 2, next month, integration and planning tasks. Phase 3, Third month, execution and relationship building. This is where we begin introducing them to their major donors and community partners. Quarterly performance review with the supervisor. Training modules, CRM, compliance and ethics. And if we have that connected to our tool, it can give us a specific list of exactly which modules that they need. Stakeholder engagement, get them in front of the ED and then the development team, and then start getting them around to the rest of the officers that they're going to work with, and then start the introductions in month 3 with our community donors and our local leaders. Do you want this as a Word document template? Do you want KPIs and success metrics for each one of those tasks? What about a section on our culture and values? So let me stop. I've been going really fast as somebody noted in chat here. What do you think of all of this? For those of you kind of following along here, what insights have you discovered? Feel free to comment on that. Q&A and chat are open. Let's come back. Last stage we want to get through today is, again, our career pathing, our learning. And before I turn to it, now I see here some potential forms are interesting. I thought it was going to focus on volunteers. Lots of great ideas and tips using Copilot. Cool and powerful, amazing and robust, amazing stuff. Yes, I agree, very powerful. So Catherine, imagine taking this and putting in front of this whole process, asking it to develop your volunteer strategy, engagement programs. And where do volunteers come from? They come from event participants. So really the last webinar we did was all about community outreach and developing a plan that can create more participants in our programs that lead to volunteers, that lead to candidates, that lead to donors and sponsors and the like. You should go back and watch the webinar we delivered last month. And yes, it integrates with Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and several different tools. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Teams. The thing we aren't even using today is Intelligent Recap inside of Teams, which allows us to say, you know what? We had a discussion with our executive director about our strategy to incorporate all of this community engagement, volunteer engagement, recruiting, donor, like this whole strategy. We had a meeting on this. Pull out from that the specific steps we are. Give me a plan for how to execute upon that particular strategy. And then I can tweak that, format it correctly, and then give it back to my ED. And we're off and running. Deborah, I'll let Frank talk to providing the link for you for our previous webinar, as I am going to take the rest of us now through the last stage, learning and development. So yes, here in Copilot chat, I've got another prompt for you coming here into meeting chat. Training materials, compliance modules. We're going to go from Word to PowerPoint. I'm going to start in Copilot chat, starting with a brand new chat, and paste in that prompt. And what are we asking? Onboarding content, workplace conduct policies, diversity and inclusion guidelines, and format it for PowerPoint. So we want it to be visually engaging and easy to understand. Copilot says, here's what I understood your request is. Here's how I'm going to organize it. First, how we're going to structure this PowerPoint deck. Welcome, mission, roles and responsibilities, policies, procedures, resources. Then go through workplace conduct policies, all of this fun stuff, right? Got to do it. Got to do it. Diversity and inclusion guidelines included here. And then what's it going to do? Visual and design recommendations on branding, icons, scenarios, bullet points, minimal text. Okay, sounds good to me. Next steps. It can generate a PowerPoint file directly with these modules. It can include speaker notes, add interactive elements. Do you want me to create this PowerPoint deck now? Yes. Create the full PowerPoint deck now. Please do. Or give a detailed outline. I'm going to say create it now. Oh, I'm going to add this in here. Include interactive elements like quizzes. Create. And so what this does, then it's going to take a little bit longer to incorporate all of this, and it will create from it a very basic, and I mean elementary, PowerPoint presentation. But from there, we'll be able to open it up inside of PowerPoint and be able to use Copilot and design suggestions to improve the content that it builds out for us. This comes right out of our prompt. We want to be able to train this person during their onboarding. And obviously, it's also going to be a little bit high level. If we had specific content related to onboarding, workplace conduct, diversity guidelines, and the like, we could cite those as references in our prompt, just adding them as work content, and it would inject that information in. Here's your full PowerPoint deck. Visually structured slides, interactive quizzes, speaker notes, section dividers. Download it here. Download. Open. And here you go. It has built this out. Okay, gotta put my label on. This is definitely internal. Thank you. And so, and I'm putting this up here so you can see the speaker notes in all cases. All right, this is bland onboarding. Here, let's use design suggestions. Yes, this is an AI-powered tool. You've had it for a while now. It is wonderful, and it allows us to now apply different layouts, add in images. Welcome and mission. Here's our, look at the speaker notes. Roles and responsibilities. I'm in training, so I work with this kind of thing a lot, and I will say that Copilot is wonderful for when you want to create a brand new presentation and you want to essentially build it out of a file. That's the primary suggestion that comes up, this kind of this ability to basically choose a file and have it build out your content based on any other document that you may have. Take your pick, onboarding checklist and welcome, and it will do exactly that. It'll generate an outline and then populate that with bullet point, talking points, and then it'll generate the whole layout and everything that we just saw it do over here. Text, layouts, graphics, and allow us to kind of build this out as we need. Now we're going to get our new fundraising manager into training. We run them through. We want to track their completion rates, send some reminders for the required courses. Let's draft out what those are going to look like. And what are we going to use? Copilot chat. That's right. Come back here and start a new chat in the upper right and paste this prompt in, and I'll give it to you as well. Here in meeting chat. And I'll send that in. So you didn't finish your compliance course. I got to remind you, I'm probably obligated to ensure it gets completed as the HR manager. Course name, deadline for completion, contact information for HR support. Be professional and encouraging. Here's a draft you can use for the reminder email. Friendly reminder, complete this course. If you've already completed it, great. If not, take a moment. If you have any questions, we're here to help. It's a nice polite way, isn't it? Kill with kindness. You can personalize it further with the name and tone, or create a version with a list of employees. So if we have that data available, say in a spreadsheet on those completion rates, we can reference that and pull out exactly who hasn't completed it for easy sending. Public shaming, that's valid, right? Last but not least, now we want to actually get their input. We want to improve continuously the training that we're offering, as well as the onboarding program that we're delivering, so that we can consistently help our new hires as well as our current employees on their career journey. So we need their feedback to identify those improvement areas. Let's go back to forms. Let's go back to forms. Microsoft Forms, new form. And here again, we will use Copilot to draft. You also can reference additional files here too, this paperclip icon. Let's send this one in. Copilot analyzes it. We want rating questions on training effectiveness, clarity, relevance, a couple open-ended questions for suggestions. So it does exactly that. Areas for improvement, and a drop down to pick the training that they anticipated. Instead of a drop down, it's creating it as a multiple choice. How effective, how clear, how relevant. Keep it, and then we can go through the same process to, using Copilot suggestions, clean this up, make it look good, add the right settings, and it's ready to go. Good point again to stop, come back, and say, what insights have you discovered during this process? And your questions. I see one from Dr. Lucille. Is the presentation similar to using PowerPoint? Oh, yes, it is PowerPoint. It is Copilot embedded into PowerPoint. And Copilot Chat that creates these documents inside of PowerPoint, exports them out, adds them to your OneDrive, and then you can build on them even further. Looks like Frank's been answering some of these other questions in here. And incorporating Copilot in human resource management. It depends on the tool. If you're using Microsoft 365 and the different applications inside your subscription, we didn't even talk about Planner. We didn't even talk about some of these other tools that are here. Copilot is showing up in all of them. It's in Dynamics, Project Operations. It's in CRM. It's in all of these tools. It's really great to see how it gets in here and helps you maximize the use of these tools. And to make it work for you, what does it look like when Griffin comes to bear and helps you through a project? There is a back-end dashboard for Copilot. There's a couple of them, actually. There's one in the admin panel, and there's one inside of Viva Analytics that actually shows what activities and what return you're getting on the investment. It's a significant investment. For a 4-week program we did back in June, 60 licenses over the course of 4 weeks, 60 users we took them through. They ran all kinds of meeting recaps. We're not showing that today, but that's possible too. Summarizing meetings, generating documents, conducting analysis in Excel, didn't touch that today, generating emails, and as you can see, tons of prompts in Copilot Chat. Almost 12,000 total actions by 60 users. That means they each had about 200 for the month. And in June, there were exactly 20 working days. That was 10 prompts a day. And as a result of that, they spent roughly $1,800 on their licenses, $30 a month times 60 users. They had almost near 100% active usage. It was a pilot program. They were really engaged. They doubled the number of meeting hours that they were attending per month. Why? Because they started attending, all the conflicts they were having, they were attending some as tentative and saying, I might not be there, or following it. And then going back to, they would attend the one meeting and then go to the recording of the other, ask Copilot questions about what happened. What were the decisions that were made? What were the action items assigned to me? And keeping track of what was occurring in that, and that allowed them to double up on those meetings. They doubled up the number of emails they sent. They almost doubled up the number of chat messages they sent. They essentially generated about 747 hours worth of work that Copilot was assisting them on, which, if you equate that to a $72 per hour salary in healthcare, that's almost $54,000 of assisted value. You divide that by their licenses, that's almost 3,000% ROI. That's what we do, is help a customer envision what's possible, generate a list of activities, train them on those activities, and then you see the results on the back end. So to get started, this is one of those Copilot readiness reviews. Frank kind of alluded to this earlier. And there's another thing I'd love to know also, what are the problems that are preventing you from getting started with Copilot right now? And you can see there's a bunch of different selections that you can have. Is it security? Is it lack of training? Is it limited understanding? We scratched the surface today. We tried to cram everything we could inside an hour, but there's so much more to be done with it. Is it budget? Is it integration? Maybe it's all 5 of these, and that's okay too. These are common hurdles that our clients and other prospects have to handle. And we like to, of course, zero in on these. Griffin has solutions for each one. Yeah, you can see there's the most popular looks like budget constraints, licensing, implementation, support. Support is minimal. When you get it up and running, it's minimal. Lack of training and support is number 2, and I'm not surprised. That's what I see as well. So I've got another poll for you that I'm launching in addition to this one about barriers. What's the most likely step you're going to take after today? After seeing everything that's possible on this spectrum. And again, if you want to see more of what Copilot is capable of, go back to our other webinars. We've talked to how to expand your fundraising capacity. We've talked to how to overall management of a nonprofit. There's plenty of material to see. You see additional opportunities here: internal assessments, talking to us, beginning a pilot program, starting a full implementation. Some of you might be right there. Learn more. Good. Keep learning. Everybody's on the learning curve. I see that that's the far and away the biggest one. Explore it. There's the abilities of Copilot Chat that are exposed for a free license, meaning part of your Microsoft 365 subscription, just using Copilot Chat. We didn't get to agents. We didn't get to all the capabilities that are there. And Microsoft has tons of resources online that can point you in that direction. So internal assessments, pilot programs, good, all of those. If you want any advice, if you want to understand, do we have the right infrastructure in place? Do we have the right settings for our desktop applications to integrate Copilot? Do we have the right security settings to prevent oversharing? That's what this readiness review is designed for. 45 minutes in a Teams meeting. We can assess the technical and your organizational readiness, identify gaps that can negatively affect the user experience, and then help plan that implementation for maximum savings, expert support across all these areas you see. We'll send you a report. Microsoft will send you a report with green, yellow, red indicators on all of their best practices. So you can see if you have any barriers that are preventing you from going forward. Comprehensive learning, secure integration, and I don't know, Frank, if you want to talk about the 6 month subscription to your LMS, but
Yeah,
that's all
so
embedded in it too.
yep. So that'll be part of the assessment. You also receive a 6 month subscription to our LMS. And I think earlier today I posted some sample content from that library. I'll go ahead and post that again here. Again, training is definitely something that we see as a common issue. The other thing, just by raise of hands or maybe in the chat, would there be interest in maybe like a prompting academy for those of you that would be interested? Maybe more support on maybe a webinar specifically around prompting and prompting strategies. Kind of roll up your sleeves on prompts. If there's an interest in that, just indicate that in the chat. Okay. Yep. So that's something that we're looking for in the new year as well. So some new topics, if you will, to cover and kind of extend, if you will, what we've been doing with Copilot here, specifically for organizations like yourselves that are nonprofits. So, all right. Just as a reminder, everyone that's attended here will get a link to this particular webinar and access to the other webinars. I'll also post that in the chat here. I'll keep the chat up for a little bit and you'll be able to pull that link. I want to thank you all for attending today. Jason, I want to thank you. As always, you're amazing. And I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season as we enter that time of the year. And so with that, I'd like to say, enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you all again for spending your time with us here today.
Cheers.